requires that attic temperatures be plus or minus 10 degrees of the outdoor temp. Okay, so for instance, if it's 110 degrees outside, we want the attic to be no higher than 120 degrees. We prefer it to be 110, and if it was really crazy, we could maybe get it down to 90, but I've never seen this in my life. We want around here plus or minus 10 degrees. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do we accomplish that? Well, if your house was super simple, like a barn in the middle of the field, you'd have a gable vent here. It's called a gable. We'd have a vent here. We'd have a vent here. We'd have no other vents, and the wind would blow through here. So if it's 100 degrees out here, it'll be 100 degrees in here. It'll be 100 degrees out here.
Right.
Easy to understand, right?
Right.
Is that everybody
Right.
tracking there? We just want to get the air through there.
Right.
Okay. Well, houses aren't like that. Houses have these. They have this. They have this could be shorter than that one. So there's all these different variations, especially on houses like this one that are almost 100 years old or
Right.
more, right? Because they put pieces together to build this house. This house might have started out just this section,
Yeah,
and then that all got added on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to do all that. So anyway, here what do? Well, on a house that's cut up, that has varying angles, what you do a lot of times now in modern day homes is they have, in the overhangs, they have holes cut in them, and the air comes in from the bottom, and then we have, let's say, a ridge vent, and the air is supposed to go out of the top.
Right.
And that's perfect. We don't, in that case though, we don't want any gable vents because we want the air to be forced this way.
Right.
It's kind of like a straw. If you're drinking a straw and you want it to go this way, you can't have a hole right here
Right.
because then you're not going to draw anything from here.
Makes sense.
You know, so when the house has a gable vent, the air doesn't come from the soffit to the gable. I mean, excuse me. If you have a ridge vent on top and soffit vent on the bottom, but you have a hole on the side, the air only goes like this. So all this area will not get any air, even though you have this vent that's on top. It's going to pull the air from the closest hole. Okay, this is what's happening in your house.
Okay.
In your house, you have a gable like this. You have another gable like this. Okay. It goes like that, and I think that's it. It does that. It does that. Yeah, okay. So you have that, but somebody put a little bitty ridge vent here, a little bitty ridge vent here. You have a gable vent here. You have a gable vent here, and you have no soffit vents. So your air is literally just coming like this and like that.
Right.
All of this is not, the air's not moving.
Right.
If I put a smoke test on your house and put a smoke bomb here and a smoke bomb here, you would see, and then I blew a fan this way, the fan would show you that the air just comes like this.
Right.
All this would not have smoke in it.
Right.
Okay. So how do we fix Christina's house? So Christina's house, what we would want to do, and it's not easy, we'd want to come in and put your roof back together. So get rid of these gable vents. I mean, excuse me, these ridge vents, the ones across the top. We want to get rid of those. We already have a hole here. We already have a hole over here.
Right.
Okay. So what I would then do is I'd come and I'd put a solar powered turbine vent here, and it would draw air across and across.
Okay.
And I could ventilate that way. So that's what I'm saying we need to do.
Okay.
We need to seal ridge, add solar turbine, and that should get my temperature where we want it to be.
Okay. Right. Makes sense.
Okay. And then the other thing is, if you wanted to also improve your home, you could put insulation in there. Because right now your insulation, the current insulation is rated at about an R13, and what we're looking for is an R32. And an R13, the insulation is about 4 inches thick, and R32 needs to be 16 inches.
Oh, okay.
So we'd go add 8 inches of insulation.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm going to say add 8 inches of insulation.
Okay. Makes sense.
There you go. So